Test, test, test. Test, test. Test, test. Test, test. Test, test. Test, test. Test, test.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 2025 BC Open Snooker Championship live here in Richmond, British Columbia at Top 147 Snooker and Billiards Lounge. It's David Burney in the booth. We got our first round robin match of the day between Dave Daly and Gary Ha. Referee Reed Unger is in charge. We apologize for a little bit of the delays getting started. Just had some technical issues that we had to overcome. So even sometimes in the booth, we have those first frame jitters that sometimes the players have. But we're off and running. We're on Snooker Canada's Facebook page. Feel free to tune in. Feel free to leave a comment. If you have any questions, let us know where you're tuning in from as well. Snooker's a global game, and we're glad wherever we reach. So right now, just kind of a tit-for-tat kind of frame right here. Dave Daly at the table right now, leading 11-10, but still plenty of points on the table. Both players, I think, would like to get back that pink ball. Large the tables are, and a good rest shot there by Dave. Unfortunately, this color really isn't desirable here. Looks like he's attempting a long green with an element of safe. Oh, no. Just going to can into the brown, leave some distance here. So, a funny little table to start. This first frame, these round robin are best of 3 matches. You can check out all the updated scores on the challenge site. That's challenge.com/2025 Snooker Canada BC Open, and click on the group stage. There's a lot of great seating room here at Top 147. This could be a good opportunity for Dave. He's able to take the yellow. Obviously, he's got that red over the pocket. The black's out in the opening. There's a couple reds open down in the business end. Dave, who comes us, by the way, of Seattle, Washington, originally from Ireland. As we all know, that's a strong country full of rich snooker history. But Dave's doing a great part with the team down at Ox Billiards with Mike Dominguez and Christian Youngers, really to promote the great game of snooker down in the US of A. Yeah, just didn't run far enough for the black. And that red might just be a bit of a problem for Dave in the top left. Yeah, I think he was trying to go for the shot to nothing there. Unfortunately, there was always danger of canning into thought a red, but he definitely canned into the black. Hasn't left an easy opener for Dave. Obviously, this red into the yellow pocket has got some distance and has to be mindful of queuing by that red. We think he might have left that right onto the yellow pocket. He's just coming down to take a look. And the angle put him nicely onto the pink and to the left middle, or even the black to the right middle. So he just ran a bit far on that pink, wanted the angle to come back down table. Can have a little shot to nothing with this red into the corner. So Dave slowly increasing his lead by 13 points, 23 to 10. There's 59 on the table. This is an amateur tournament, so as we say in the amateur game, it's really exciting when players start to get on a run, as we do expect them to miss. As the opposite's the case for the professional game. We don't expect the pros to miss, but when they do, you hear a lot of oohs and ahs from the crowd. Judge the pace nicely there. That white was dangerous of going into the top right, as that's a 4-point foul in the game of snooker, and you get your ball in hand in that D. That's more up at the top of the screen in the bulk area. Well, it doesn't look like he sold out anything easy. Dave does have this red. We'll cut into the top right corner. It's got a lot of distance to travel, but having cue ball and object ball close together makes it a little bit easier to judge the angle where you want to hit that object ball with your cue ball to get a successful pot. This is a tricky little plant shot here up near the yellow pocket with these two reds. If they were welded together, it would make it that much more easier, but the little bit of space between the reds makes the plant that much more difficult. Doesn't want to go in. It's okay. Nice long pot there by Gary. Don't know much about Gary. He's sporting the Star Snooker Club vest, so another club here in the Richmond area in British Columbia. It's great to see here in the community in the Lower Mainland. Lots of clubs are popping up. Obviously, Top 147 has been around for many years. Star Snooker Club, House of Pool, and Snooked D. Sonny and Alan take that shot there. Snook D, who's helping us out. Not sure if Barneat has got the stream up and going in his room. I know he was planning, but we've got a couple of groups over there. A big tournament of 42 players. As much as Top 147, we do have 7 great tables. Just to make the tournament a success, we needed some extra tables, and the gang at Snooked was willing to help us out, so we really appreciate that. Dave has given Gary a shot. It's a blind cut into the green pocket. Doesn't have to do much. He probably could just hit it at pace and come down for the black. got the snooker there. Just raises his hand, it looks like, so he apologized for the fluke. Flukes can happen in the game. Most of the time they do go both ways for players. It doesn't always go to one player's advantage. Whereas our sister game in pool, I believe it's always called shots. Flukes are not allowed. But with that miss, Dave has let Gary in. Let's see what he can make of it. Oh, he's got to be kicking himself on that as a double kick. That's a pot he makes 99 out of 100 times, obviously on the practice table, but when you're in a big tournament, the pressure mounts and pots just become that much more difficult. The unfortunate part, he really sold it out to Dave here. Did want to hit it with pace to get over for the brown, but I don't know if he needed to hit it that hard. These are pretty quick tables. I believe Jonathan's son, the owner-operator, had just reclocked our feature table here. But Dave could be in a lot of trouble here after Gary's next shot. Yeah, that's the thing. I thought he might have gone the other way. But definitely when you're down on the shot at the table, you've got the best view in the house. Great sportsmanship there between the two competitors. Almost had a little run in as Dave returned to his chair and Gary came to the table. But that blue has definitely a lot of importance over there. Very safe. And same with the green. And these are balls that Gary is going to need if he wants to take this first frame in a best of 3 round robin match. Oh, that hurts. Hey, Gary just needs to wake up. As you can see, he's a little disappointed, that body language, slacking that head. That's 7 big points. There is 16 in it and 27 on the table. Looks like Dave has the snooker here. So in this tournament with snookers, each player has 4 attempts, so that's 3 putbacks. And as well, if there's more than 3 snookers required, then is it a concedement? Sure, this is going to go back. Looks like referee Younger has come to retrieve the cue ball. Yeah, David, no real hurry to get back to his chair. There's not really many spots on the table where Dave could land. you want to take it on. Obviously, in this situation, after the miss, if you can score more than the 4 penalty points, maybe you'll jump in. But once the referee gets assured of his placement, he'll confirm with both players. If both are happy, it's play on. If there's a pathway, maybe for 2 cushions that he's looking come off the right cushion and then the bottom cushion. Just clip into that yellow. And obviously on that and off, Dave could take the shot from the D, or he can elect to put his opponent back in. It's a clever move there. There's really no advantage here. Looks like that yellow is glued to the cushion, so obviously that's hit object ball and the cushion at the same time, and just Gary faltered just a little bit there, so I think Dave was just trying to bait him in there to try and take on that pot. Obviously with the 28 advantage that Dave has, Gary does need at least 1 snooker to get back into this frame. It's a nice long pot there by Gary. We got a nice delicate little flick off that brown. Just referee Younger inspecting just if it in fact is a snooker. And he definitely has it. With the snooker's required stage, there's over there, and there's a concession there. So Dave Daly, coming up from Seattle, Washington, takes that first frame over Gary Ha, and we'll be right back with frame 2 action of this 2025 BC Open Snooker Championship. And welcome back, everybody. Frame 2 of our featured match here. First round robin match of the day. It's a 4-day tournament here in the 2005 BC Open Snooker Championship. A lot of things are always turning on day one. Just had to get an understatement with our roving referee, Hanna Lusovenko, who's doing a great job. We're just informing the referees. We know snooker is not the fastest game out there. Sometimes it is a bit slow and methodical, but there are times when some players just take an extreme amount of time to play a shot. And actually, slow play can be a penalty, as outlined in the rule books, and it's not just a 4-point foul, it's a frame foul. So, and it is also obviously up to the referee's discretion if someone's deliberately playing slow. That's a nice cut there by Dave. Kicked out the green nicely, got a good angle. Hopefully you can come down and play for the red by the blue. Looks like he's got a nice angle on the red to the top left. Maybe just a slight little drawback on it just to get the right side of the blue. He stunned it over. How's Dave feeling? Does he want to cut this blue into the right middle and burst open those reds? Hopefully he'd like to get this next frame to him. That will get him victorious in the match, get it done and dusted. Thanks for chiming in, Michael. Just making a point that Gary should stop playing English, or swerve, as they sometimes call it in snooker. Yeah, that's the first pretty much practice exercise you do when you get into this game. It's just hitting that cue ball from the brown spot, traveling up and down the table so it covers the blue, pink, and black spot to come right back and nestle onto the tip of your cue. It definitely tells you that you're hitting center ball, which is very important. A little motion from Gary here. He's just not feeling it right at the beginning of the day. Whether that will play to Dave's advantage if we might see just a little emotion coming from his opponent. Yeah, you really don't want to give anything away. Don't let your opponent at all know that you're suffering, because they'll do the best to compound it. Nice shot there by Gary. Just pure and right into the middle of the pocket. Just ran a little bit too much for him as that black is. They keep the shots really compact. This is a nasty piece of business. Maybe just Dave can lightly flick off the left side of that red near the top cushion. So here, just waiting for our friend Albert Lamb on the adjacent table to take his shot. Hopefully Albert's better half, Miss Carmen, can be entering the building soon, because Albert got into the room today and just smacked his forehead as he forgot his waistcoat. It is part of the dress code. He did inform me that she was coming, so hopefully she'll be there soon. Do like to enforce the dress code, but a nice containing safety shot there by Gary. But they should be able to possibly get behind the green here, off two cushions. Just a little short of pace, but it looks like he does have the snooker. So slim advantage for Dave, 13 to 7. He's making referee Unger work. He's got to find that spider, or maybe even going for the extended spider there. That he makes all the time, but the pressure of a tournament. So, a little messy table. Pink and blue are rather tied up, and black is on the left side. Gary did his best to be on this black. He is going to have to use the rest. Very nicely struck. Slowing the pace down, he gave every opportunity for the pocket to take it. Hello there, Brent Babcock. Thanks for tuning in. As you see on the description, I believe if you're on YouTube, the brackets are on the challenge site. That's challenge.com/2025 Snooker Canada BC Open Group. That's where you'll be able to find all the groups and the results. This is round robin phase. It's day 1 of the 2025 BC Open Snooker Championship. Tomorrow the round robin will conclude, and Saturday and Sunday will be the knockout phase. One thing obviously later on in the day that the players will contend with is it is an active room here, so some of the Chinese 8-ball tables will get a little busy, so there might be a bit of noise in the afternoon. It's a very nice shot there by Gary. He's got a great snooker on Dave. behind the yellow. One advantage Dave does have is there's a lot of red still on the table. The problem is that pink and blue are kind of intertwined with them. Sometimes in usually the stage, there's a bunch of reds clustered together, make one big red, but Dave could just come off right top cushion and nestle into those reds in the middle. Dave happy with it, and Gary just reminding the referee there's a blue to be put back as well. So we all got to work together to build a strong community. We appreciate everybody stepping up to help out behind the scenes. Dave should make the adjustments and be successful on this shot. Very nicely played. He's left a red onto the right, top right middle, top right corner, but it's not easy. Did go for it, but he didn't sell it out. He hit it at a firm pace that it didn't rattle in the jaws and stay there. There's no pathway really for a shot to nothing there. Dave just wanted to make safe, and he's got a good cue ball. It's not tight to the bulk area, but definitely Gary can't get all of that cue ball unless he really jacks up, making the shot that much more difficult. Yeah, we've got a couple junior players in the tournament. Marko Lisovenko, who was our junior champion last year, she'll be playing in the tournament. Exciting to see how she fares. Actually, our only female that's in the tournament. It's great to see. And the young Rianne Desani, 10-year-old, that won our junior championship this year. And just watching him practice last night, young Rianne, he's fearless. He's just potting everything. So I believe nearing the end of the day, we're gonna might be on the TV table tomorrow. We will have at 3 p.m. local favorite Charlie Brown will be taking on actually Margot on our TV table. We've done our best to assign tables, but at times things can get bogged down, so sometimes we employ a roll-on, roll-off philosophy. We're just all doing our best to keep the best interests of the tournament going at a good pace. It's an alright chance, but unfortunately he's left an easy starter here for Dave. And does he have a angle to get down for that black? Valiant effort there by Dave. But that pink has helped block the potting angle for that red near the green pocket. Now does this red slide by that blue to go into the right middle? Does not. Just Dave asking if that was touching ball, and in that case a referee would, if it was a touching ball, point out to the offending ball that the cue ball was touching. That red rather full on. Didn't want to flick or anything. The pot almost fluked the red into the left middle. Obviously big red, whoever can get the next red is probably guaranteed the black into the top left corner. It's like Dave is going to be tempted to cut into the left middle, and definitely feel free to like and subscribe to the YouTube Snooker Canada channel. It helps us grow this great game in Canada that used to have a rich history. Great Cliff Thorburn, Bill Werbenick, Kirk Stevens, Jim Weich, Brady Golan, who played in this tournament a few years back and was a two-time champion. We do miss Brady, but he's now out in Alberta, and sometimes traveling can be quite a hurdle. But I think we're seeing a good regrowth here in Canada for the game of snooker, and as well to our friends down in the US of A. Lots of things are exploding there. I personally was just down at the US Snooker Masters, held at the Sacramento Snooker and Billiards Room in Sacramento, California. Real great event there. Got to meet some new friends and see some familiar faces. And I believe that final should be up on Ox Billiards or Ox Promotions YouTube page. I won't spoil anything, but what a final it was. Gary's flicked that red out. It's a long pot for Dave. He does have to just negotiate the green. kept it there. Not to be on that blue, but has a 14-point advantage. 29-15, the second frame. The frame Gary definitely needs to put us into a decider. Just peeking out for an extension. Just gonna help them out. I'll be right back. Yeah, I think both players are not going to want to watch the tape on this one. Both have been just struggling a little bit to find some real fluency. Black's kind of really safe to the left mid side of the table. This might be a bit of trouble here for Gary. Let's give it Dave a chance. I think he's got an angle to come up for the pink as well. Just one programming note, if any of the Daly clan is tuning in from Ireland, sincere apologies. There was one year for some reason I was referring to Dave as Dave Daly for some reason. It doesn't look like a surrealist to me, but once sometimes you get things stuck in your head, and I just kept calling him Dave Daly, but it's Dave Daly. So sincere apologies to the Daly clan out there. Hopefully you're cheering on your boy here. Took the first frame. That was a pretty big flick on the yellow there. He's fortunate enough to leave that cue ball in a better potting position. So definitely Dave sometimes needs the redwoods. He's not the tallest player on the circuit, as he's kind of being refereed by one of the taller gents, Reed Unger. It's a game of millimeters. So close. Dave was millimeters away of getting his cue ball behind the yellow to put Gary in a tough snooker. Just rolled a bit too much there for Gary. Dave has opened things up and it's got a great cue ball. Tap on the table from his opponent. He's put him tight to that bulk cushion. So he makes it tough. Always a danger of just hitting a little off center, putting some unwanted side. Gary's done well for the hit, but unfortunately he has left. There by Dave. There's a red into the top right. I wonder if he's just gonna, yeah, it's gonna take this thin cut into the top left. Maybe playing with the element of stave, come up 2 cushions to get into the bulk area. I've seen a little bit so far of Gary's game. He's quite proficient with that rest. So, gotta be great on pace here. Just wants to roll it up nicely to the yellow. Dave gives a good tap on the table acknowledging a good shot. And well done for Gary there. Those are always a bit tricky, as you want to make sure you've got a good amount of pace, because if you fall short of pace and you get behind that ball, you're gifting your opponent a free ball, or you could be shooting again from that position. This could start to get really costly here for Dave. Doing his best to help out referee Younger. Just keeping his finger down for the black to be respotted. It's a better chance, but just... I'd be surprised if Gary puts him back here. He's got red and pink there, and I don't know, it's got a feeling that we're going to go to a decider early on. Check side. Did his best to not have a wide angle on it. So he's not able to convert on that red. So 26 in at 35 on the table. It's a messy looking table. Be some frame if Dave is able to put it together a winning chance. Sometimes you just might do it just one step at a time. Might have just got up a bit too quickly. Obviously the cardinal rule is stay down on the shot until your object ball drops in the pocket or all balls stop moving. Obviously that's if you can. Sometimes balls might be spinning around, they'd be coming towards you and you don't want them to run into you or it will be a foul. Nice pause that Dave has it on his backswing. So now he's put himself into the snooker's required stage and he's developed that black a little bit. Yeah, I think Gary, you might just clip off this red and get snug behind the black. That's an error. Well, there's always the chance of a free ball with that last red, but I think Dave's got to be feeling take the black as well. Maybe even the yellow. Oh, my mistake. Didn't need snookers. He can still win this. But Gary does need the green as well. Ooh, just came a bit too far. Yeah, just 24 in it and 25 on the table, so Dave could win this frame by a point. Obviously green to brown and blue up table. It's definitely a tall order. Oh, he's got a lovely snooker there. It's the big thing here for Dave is if he can get out of it and not leave a relatively easy sitter for Gary. Oh, that green definitely is going to make sure of the frame, but unfortunately just rattles in the jaws. I'd be surprised if Dave maybe could take it to the last two balls. He's just pulled up maybe just enough that he can hit it. No, I think he's snookered himself. He's just looking at the scoreboard there. Trailing by 29 with 22 on. Dave needs a couple of snookers to get back in this one, and this blue definitely would put us into a decider. And that's a concession there by Dave Daly. So we're going into a deciding frame of this first round robin match between Dave Daly and Gary Ha. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back after a short break for this deciding frame. And welcome back, everybody. It's the deciding frame here. Our first match of the 2025 BC Open Snooker Championship. Live in Richmond, British Columbia at the Top 147 Snooker and Billiards Lounge. It's David Burney in the booth. In our description, you can find the brackets of the group stage. That's at challenge.com/2025 Snooker Canada BC Open Group. It's been a grinding affair, this opening match. They're playing, we've seen a few small little breaks in there, but there hasn't been a lot of high-flowing stuff, which can be expected at times. Those first matches of the day, always tough to get going. And hope you're finding us on Snooker Canada's Facebook or YouTube page. Feel free to fire any comments or questions that you may have. If you have any support for either of the players, also let us know where you're tuning in from. was a good chance for Gary to get off and going. He's got to be kicking himself. I wonder if he just thought a little bit of the black just creeped into his mind there. Can't get ahead of yourself. Obviously, when you're doing your pre-shot routine, you got to go through the motions of what you want to do with the cue ball and where you want to be after the shot. But when you're down on the shot, that requires all the attention. Can't let your mind drift of what could be. You got to stay in the moment. Wow. Dave has a wry little smile there, and Gary apologized that as he went around those reds, found a gap, and flicked off a red beautifully to put his ball up table. And they definitely wanted that to pull up a little bit more. It does have the pink into the yellow pockets. Definitely bridging over some reds. Bringing out the swan again. There's a debate for the chat out there. Take a look at that piece of equipment. Great camera team, just couldn't get there in time, but it's predominantly called the swan, but sometimes if you look at it closely, it does look a little bit like a slug. So I'll let the chat room debate that idea. Tough a little bit. Tournament director Lance Bromlin's desk is right close to the table, so sometimes a lot of people converge there, but they got to be mindful that there is a match going on. Plenty of matches. 7 great tables here in the top 147 Snooker and Billiards Lounge. Unfortunately, the pink is all the way up in the bulk here. It's nice that the black is open. Players can really score heavily if they really get into it. Got a feeling, and then he's pushed the blue back as well. Be surprised, you know, both players just struggling a bit to find form. Might want to just start going for a few more shots. Push the envelope, as we've seen so many times in the amateur game, that a lot of these frames come down to the color balls. Oh, and he almost fluked one. Tried the red into the right middle. That almost fluked a plant. But he's left a plant on for. It's a tough one as there is distance. Oh. And we're back there. A little hiccup in our streaming. Got a lot of wheels turning, that's for sure. Staff is a little bit limited at times. always open to having wonderful people help us out behind the scenes, whether it's referees, scorekeepers, commentators, tournament directors, even just a runner. We don't mind. If you've got a vehicle and you want to help us out, sometimes us that are doing our best to keep the tournament going can't get out of the room, and sometimes we need a little lunch break. But this looks like a good opportunity here for Dave. At least he can put a few points together here and extend on his lead. Surprised Dave has taken this brown. I'd almost elect for the pink. Just get it down the table. Well, he's brought the brown down the table with that miss. And he kind of left the red onto the top left corner and the bottom of this 5 pack. He's been so proficient with that rest today. Just breaks down there. Yeah, obviously with that pink maybe that Dave had, doesn't look like it's going to go back on its original spot, but still having it on the blue is not a bad place to be. But this angle, Dave's going to be coming up to the bulk end. Just housing the Johns. These Rasson tables are tough. Came a bit too high on that black. He's fortunate enough he's given a tough cue ball here for Gary, as he's going to be cueing over the blue ball. Wow, great long pot there. And he's on the black. Maybe that can concern Gary a bit. There's a little almost bump in there with Albert on the adjacent table. It's a big room, but these snooker tables take up a lot of space. Thanks for tuning in, Godfried Chan. Godfried is a great supporter of snooker in the community here in the Lower Mainland, and it certainly is a busy day. Lots of wheels turning, lots of players at the table. We've gotten bogged down a few matches early on, really have gone a little messy as I look over to my right and just see the match between Denis Lazenko and Brian Brown. They've got a black over a corner pocket and a lot of reds near it, so that really can bring a frame to a grinding halt. Smart shot there by Dave. Carrying a tough snooker. There are reds that he can hit. The only problem is he just doesn't want to leave an easy starter for Dave. Well, he's had to make contact there. Looks like yeah. So he left a plant on to the middle pocket with these two reds for Dave. He's eyeing it up. Obviously, he's very high on those other two open reds into respective corner pockets. Neither player wanting to give an inch. Really making it scrappy here. He's got a decent cue ball. He has left a red to the left middle as he tempted Gary into taking on that shot. might have the triple here. I apologize, I think he was going for the double with the element of safe there. But if you're a fan of Canadian snooker, you definitely know that sometimes greatness can happen with a fluke, as our fellow countryman. You know, it's kind of the smart shot to take for Dave there. Just seeing how the table is and both players really kind of struggling. You almost want to, make that break. Continue it on, maybe take that yellow into the right middle. Obviously, snooker is aptly named after a defensive term. He might have been baiting him into something as Gary's able to get out of the snooker, but he's leaving a relatively easy open there for Dave. It's a little thinner than I first thought. A bit far, does have the green into the left middle. Wrong on his backhand. So he's left a red for Gary in the same pocket, but Dave does have a 25-9 advantage. This deciding frame. Well, now they're starting to bring on their potting boots, which is good to see. Obviously, 4 red's pretty safe. Surprised if Gary maybe takes the double. Always gonna look to take this red at the top left corner. They have been playing some safe there. That red that's on the right cushion. Kick that back to the left middle with element of safe, but electing for this long red. Can't find the pocket there, but he's left a mid-range red for Dave. Certainly a long pot, but certainly makeable for Gary. it's there, so. You almost think maybe just grab some points, take this green into its own pocket. You'll still be at the table in control. He's got the opportunity for a double. I find the key process with a double, although it's coming right towards him, but sometimes they're usually blind cuts. When you have a double shot, it's good to hear that pocket go in, not swirl your head around. Oh, did he get the triple? So, only 5 points in it, but 51 on the table. In this deciding frame, our first match featured here. As you can see on the top of the screen, there's our youngest competitor, Rianne Desani, 10 years old. This is going to be a great experience for the youngster, his first BC Open. There might be a little bit of a path. I think that red can get by the black if he decides to cut it in there. The problem is he's going to can into probably the brown if he's to miss. Not a elementary shot to nothing. Looking for the thinner red. Glad you're tuning in where you find us, whether it's YouTube or Facebook. It's under Snooker Canada's channel. It's day one of the BC Open Snooker Championship. It's been a tight little match here between Dave and Gary. Neither player really finding the fluency. Putting small little jab breaks here, but no real big high breaks. Gary is trying to grab this frame by the jugular, taking on that long red. So this is the problem here. Wants that to pull up just a bit. Wow, did that roll? He's still got the pink, but he'd rather be on the other side of it, because this is going to have to go in and out of the top end of the table to come back for the red. You know, he's got a mid-range red into the yellow pocket. Just a little trouble with having to put his bridge hand on the cushion. Ooh. What if that hampered him just a little bit? It's happening now. Reds are opened up. Just who's really going to do the duty of punishing the opponent. Just used all the pocket but didn't find a way to drop. And roll on just enough that it didn't leave Dave a shot into the right middle. Dave's done well to leave distance between object and cue ball, but it's a long red and it does go to this top left corner. Oh, was he? Not sure if he was playing the cross double there or if that was just an outright miss. So in one moment it was rather open up and so the player that was going to get in could run away with the frame, but now Red Bulls have come down to the top end of the table and prolonged this frame a little bit longer. That's a mistake there by Dave. He's pretty much got a 11-foot, 11-inch shot here, just microscopically off the top cushion. Just juggling a few heads there. I had to talk with my partner in crime, Lance Bromlin, as some of our first round matches have kind of got a little sluggish, so it is a balancing act. We'd like to have assigned tables, but sometimes the game of snooker has many different directions it can go, so then we employ a roll on, roll off philosophy just with the benefit of the tournament to go. There was a players meeting last night, and players were asking if they are on their given table, and we said we would try our best to do that, but in the sake of keeping the tournament moving along so there's not too many laps, it would be a roll on, roll off. And then this one, it's just a small 11-point advantage for Dave Daly. And he's going to increase it there. Just rolled a little too much for him. I think he's... Yeah, he might be straight onto this pink, but he can play it with some top. It's going to have obviously a long thing. What a fluke there is. What a time to have it as well. That's given Dave a chance. Does need the brown. But this brown definitely is in a tricky spot, so green really not of incredible importance unless they have a good shot to put the green into a pocket, and Gary might have it here. Gonna try and stun down and develop that brown. I'll develop the black instead of the brown. Definitely will need that black, but the hand raise, Gary, that is, the hand raise for the apology. So he's got the brown off the cushion. Gary's in a bit of a snooker here. Almost want to play a little bit with running side, just so it skids off that top cushion. He is successful, but he's left a cut into the right middle for Dave. That winning lies is close for Dave Daly. He just can't punch it in. Oh, very nice. Long green there. Has it come enough for the brown? He's got an opportunity. It definitely is tough. Doesn't have to do a lot with this cue ball as it's naturally going to shoot up table. It's as if he decided to take the pot on. Smart move there. He just laid the snooker. Ooh, Leaf doesn't convert there. This could be a big swing. So there's 9 points in it and 22 on the table. This looks like a better effort. He's trying the thin cut there. Has he got saved by the blue? No. Once again, in a long attempt here for Gary with the brown. Maybe keep the long pots, Gary. You're quite excelling at those. This is when you just got to trust your technique. That back arm is getting a little twitchy just because it's getting down to the final few balls. Yeah, not a place you want to be as a player, but obviously the high drama here is what us fans love to see. Oh, that was a big blue for Dave. If he was able to take that, he'd just need the pink. That's rolling quite a bit. The pendulum is swung towards Gary. Just needs to float this in. good friend Sean Talvin just bumping into the shot there. Does he have to settle his news here? A couple of breaths. What a steal this would be. To steal the frame, to steal the match. He was trailing 1-0. Be devastating to Dave Daly. We're in a black ball final here. What drama early on. Oh, he couldn't get it. But it's safe. Brent Babcock looking for the brackets. There is a link in the description. It's on the challenge site. /2025 Snooker Canada BC Open Group. But right here, we're in a black ball deciding on the deciding frame. Dave has done well to make sure things are safe. You don't want to gift your opponent a black ball in this situation. You kind of almost want to put them in a situation where you bait them a little bit on a tough shot and see if they go for it or refuse it. Might be playing the double here. Oh, and it's there. Wow, what a victory. Handshakes all around. Gary Ha, wow, takes it exciting. The siding frame crawled back, was trailing 1-0 and won 2 in the spin to knock off the Irish-born, now American living Dave Daly. We're going to step aside for about 5 minutes or so just to set up our next TV match. We appreciate all your viewership, and come back and see us. It's only day one of this exciting championship. Take care, everyone. Hey everybody, just let you know, programming note. Connor and Morgan, unfortunately, will not be showing up, so we won't have a TV table match until 1 p.m. So 1 p.m. will be our next featured match. Thank you.